with an increase in the number of circulating stem cells that was up to 1600%. But we removed these from the analysis because we did not want to be criticized as we took a path that was extremely conservative. So by taking only that data, the average was closer to 25 to 30%, although the median was 50%. So when we take all the data together, this study is confirming pretty much exactly what we had obtained in the original study that was published with Stemtech. Now let's look at the data on glucose metabolism. Now I apologize, I realized that I took my French slide here, so for the French people, that will help you. But I'll translate for you English folks who cannot speak English. It's not a handicap, it's just, you just need to learn it. So, this is a graph showing the number of stem cells that have penetrated the pancreas in the various groups. So in the control group, and in the Stemtech group, you're talking about animals that have not had lesion to their pancreas, so you should not expect any kind of activity for repair. So no stem cells have been seen that have migrated in the pancreas. Now in the group that received the toxin, strep STZ, they're not diabetic, you see a significant increase in the number of stem cells that have penetrated the pancreas. But look at the number that we find in the group that received Stemtech after 2 weeks and on Stemtech after 4 weeks. A much higher number of stem cells that have penetrated into the pancreas because we had more stem cells in circulation. Remember the concept? More stem cells in circulation means more stem cells are present, available to participate to tissue repair. This study is showing exactly the concept that we've talked about all throughout these years. Now, if we count the number of cells in the pancreas making insulin, same thing here. The control group in Stemtech have no injury. So they have just a normal number of cells making insulin. In the group that have streptocitosin, STZ, very few cells are making insulin. These animals are diabetic. Now in the group that have been on Stemtech for 2 to 4 weeks, you see an increasing number, and after 4 weeks, it's almost equal to the control group. And if you put these two graphs side by side, what is very interesting is that you can see that as the number of stem cells decrease in the pancreas, the number of cells making insulin is increasing. It's the concept that we've talked about. They penetrate into the tissue, and then they transform into cells making insulin. That study is giving this picture very beautifully. Now, if you follow the actual level of glucose in the blood, what you see here is control and with Stemtech at the bottom. The blue area is just normal glucose level in the blood. So in red, you get streptocitosin group. So their glycemia started to shoot really high, and it stayed high. The group on Stemtech, after 2 weeks, when the pancreas started to regenerate, you see the glycemia going down. The only regret in that study is why it did not continue for 6 weeks, just to see where it would be. We can sort of project and predict that after 5-6 weeks, we probably would have been close to what would be normal glycemia. We can't tell, but that's what we want to see in the study that we're going to do right now in humans. So that's, on the basis of all that data, you kind of see why going for pre-diabetes is really sort of a well-structured study that is pretty certain to give us positive results. So it's a multi-center study, as I mentioned, in the United States, in Union, Martinique, Spain, potentially Colombia, Ecuador, Malaysia as well. Philippines, but I won't go into the detail, it's not going to happen in the Philippines. So here's what the protocol looks like. It's a double-blind, placebo-controlled with randomization. So that means the product is given randomly, and we're going to pair match it as much as possible. So we go into database of people who are pre-diabetic, and then people who have similar body weight, similar fasting glucose, similar glycated hemoglobin, similar various things. We put them in group of 4. We pair them in groups of 4, and they are distributed randomly. They receive, one group is on placebo, one group is on Stemtech, one group is on allomacroclata, one group is on SE3. So it will allow us to not only study SE3, but study our key ingredients that we have in SE3. The study will be on 6 months. We wanted to do it on 3 months at first. I mean, it's a question of cost. But then many of the doctors that we work with were telling us, well, probably 50% of the people that I treat, I will see something in 3 months.